about the ping application have been implemented in Python code. So let's go straight to it. So the first thing I want to import a new library because we cannot use about the ping library. So I'm using another way which is add a lot of library in here. The first thing I'm using about the OS select socket shrug and time. And everything has just every library have the different function we'll be using in here. Like for example the OS we just using it to operate the system, and selection is select library just using about the input output multiplexing socket. It's just like the way we are putting to the next protocol, and shrug is just like handling about the binary data to the computer, and the time is just like the time operation. And I'm also create about the hard code in here, and also the initialize variable like the request code is equal to set assign this into a, because like we want to specify the type of ICMP request, especially we're using in ping, right? And we also create about the the initial variable in here, like about the packet send, packet receive, route trip time, and a target house. So the packet sending assigned to 0, it will be like implemented it, or about to 1 something if we are sending the packet, and the packet receive also implemented it. And if the I'm also starting about the bringing out input output something like that to the array in here, and also like the target house. And let's just go straight to it. So exactly we just got in order to analyze about each function we'll be using, I'm create about the function the method in here. So the first thing I'm using about a get checksum. So what is function using? So the function is using to calculate the checksum for the ICMP header to ensure the integrity of the ICMP packet during the transmission. And the parameter we're taking like about the packet in here. And I also create about a new initialize the new variable like the checksum is equal to 0. And the next thing I'm just going to calculate the packet length by getting the length of the packet divided by 2, and then all of that thing multiplied by 2, because I don't want to get about the odd number in here. I just want to get an even number, and create out the new variable count equal to 0 also to iterate through the byte of the package. And I'll create about the while loop in here. So if the count is less than about the packet length, the byte in here which is true. So we just want to convert 2 integer by multiplies the next byte, multiply the next byte 256, and add the current byte in order to get a 16-bit integer. And the CS in here is exactly just adding about this dot var, because we already create about a new variable like CS the checksum equal to 0, right? So we want to add about a new variable into the checksum, and in order to make from 16-bit integer into 32-bit integer, we just adding about using about the n, the n, a and d, and using about the 0xFFF, to convert 16-bit integer into 32-bit integer. And the count here is exactly just count plus 2, so to move to the next byte in the package. And I'm also using about the if condition to check the packet claims were odd, then the condition will just becoming true in this one. And the next thing reduce to 16-bit value. For we got about a 32-bit integer, we just want to reduce it to 16-bit by taking about the CS greater than 16 plus CS, and using about the OFF in here, and complement the checksum also, and complement the checksum using about the output equal to this, the action here is equal to the complement, and the mask with the OFF ensure it is the 16-bit value. And exactly we just checking checksum will swap the higher A bit and move to the lower A bit, and vice versa to get a correct checksum. And we return the value of that thing, And the next function we are using in here to handle receive ICMP response packet. Like smashing the header, calculate the route trip time. So that is how the receive packet we're using. And we take like about exactly which is like 4 parameter: stock, ID, timeout, sequence, number. And yeah, it's also like what we will be received during the transmission when we seeing on a ping in a Cisco packet tracer. And I'm using about a local variable, no, global variable in here to like keep track the receive packet and the route trip time also. And I'm create about the while loop to get about the infinite loop. Like if it's wrong, it is just to go back in here. And to check about the request timeout on here, we're using about the select method to wait for the input output element to the socket and then calculating it. And then if the select call return without any data, it exactly just like request timeout, right? So it will show to the output like we got like a refresh timeout for ICMP sequence. And then I'm setting about the current time we have been set before, but like we want to update it. And then the message from 20, the message is from 20 to 28. So the first one, like 1 to 20 is just for network layer header, and 20 to 28 is for about the ICMP header. So that is how I'm setting in here. And we also got about the unpack value from the ICMP header using the struct unpack method. So that thing we just like unpack our our struct, our binary number. And I'm also great about it. Check the if condition to check whether the expect ID is master recess ID. So it will check like whether this packet is equal like the packet we want to get, or it exactly just got another packet. Then it will like ignore it. So that's how this a packet is working. We also got about create calculate the ground trip in millisecond and append it to like the ground trip times array we had before on that. And we also like change the message, change the length message. We want to get the length of the receive packet, and we want to like extract the network layer header. And we also calculate about the time to live, and then show to the terminal the byte we got, ICMP, TTL, time in millisecond. And the Foxmart is just like the first one we got in here, the second one we got into like this curly bracket, and the third one we got into this curly bracket, and route trip time we got into this curly bracket. And I'm also checking about the time lapse, like how long in second. In select, it should like update about the time lapse variable by subtract the time span in the select call. And if it exactly just like the time left is less or equal than 0, it means like we got like minus time, right? So we exactly just like request timeout for the ICMP sequence. And that's how we'll be checking. And the next function is to like send package. We also got about a 4 parameter, like about it function is just the general thing. We just like send an ICMP packet to specify the destination address and also calculate the size of the checksum for the packet. And it also using about the same thing, like about packing this one, struct pack, and then checksum again, and then the check extend to like convert the checksum from host byte to the network byte. So how this is how extend function will be working. And packet is equal to header plus the data, and then we are sent to the destination we want, and then the package will be like packet plus 1. And the next function is like this function is just like create about a socket and then send the ICMP packet and wait for the response. And you can see in here it's ready to see we got like about the sockets in here, and to read to like about go through the next protocols, and then get bit and also send packet into the destination, the PIDs, and the second number also, and the message we want to receive, and then we close that socket and then return our message. And we also got the final thing was like the bin option, the bin function. So this is like our main bin function. And by resolving the host IP address, print the message, indicate the ping operation is starting, and loop to send and receive the ping message. So this is how we be working. We got a global variable, and we also like convert about the domain name into the corresponding IP address, and then we converting the IP address and then print into the terminal. And because we want to get like about a for ping, right? So we need to create about a for loop, for time with each start from 0 to 3, and we like print it out to the terminal with like delay of the time. The delay time will be like 1 second. And the last thing I like that the function print get star to print the statistic about the ping operation in low like the packet class, minimum, maximum, and average browser time. So this thing is just like we already implement every algorithm before, right? So in here we're just using about a function to calculate about the mean, the max, the sum, the overall thing we have been received. And the last thing was just like our main function. So I'm getting about want to get the when I want to ping the google.com, so I will use the hostname in here and then call about the function ping hostname1 and then get started. And let's just run it to make sure it's working. Sudo python 3 p.py and then type okay. So you can see in here, I'm just getting about the pinging. We got like about a for package in here with about ICMP sequence, TTLs, time to release, and then also the time in 5 milliseconds. And we also have ping star and the package 0% is lost, and then the approximate browser time in millisecond, and the average time, the maximum time, the minimums. So yeah, that is how we're working. Thank you.